Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Desk. Today, we're going to be actually going through a couple of properties that we really like and sharing them with you, some of the things we like and don't like. What's up, Chuckles?
I feel like I'm laughing a lot.
So Amy noticed a dot on my forehead that she says she's never seen before in her entire life.
Like in the thing.
So we have a monitor in front of her, and she's able to see.
I don't normally have a
She sees me
monitor.
in full screen,
Yeah.
which apparently you see more stuff than in real life. Anyways, how's it going?
It's good. How are you, honey?
Good. You've got a word over your shoulder. What do you have today?
Años.
Años. And what does that mean?
Year. In
Right.
Espanol.
That's our word of the week. Años.
Sí.
And the N with the Enye above it is what gives it the año.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Not that you or I are any further in our
Quest.
quest
for Espanol domination.
Listen, I have to say, like, it's one thing to sit down with somebody and talk for a half an hour and go over different things and do Duolingo or Babbel or whatever else you use. It's a whole nother if you're actually in it.
Yeah.
So that forces you to really speak it and be around it all the time, which hopefully you and I will be.
Right.
When
And what we're working on is the fundamentals so that even if, like, in general, we've been able to pick up every 3, 5, 7th word and understand in general what we're hearing. Now we're beginning to understand how to also respond or formulate responses. But you're absolutely right. Once we get there, that's when we're actually going to be communicating.
Yeah, just a little.
Take time, submersion.
Submerge ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. It's oh gosh, I can actually see my hair. Oof. Having this monitor in front of me.
Look here.
Look at you.
Look at me. 1, 2, 3 eyes on me. So today we're going to be sharing some stuff, but anything you want to update about our little munchkin
Sadie?
Over here?
She's been a turd. What's happening.
Currently a turd.
Springtime is here. She is now able to run and go and do, and all of the things that Sadie was able to get away with while she was sick, because we did whatever we needed to do to keep her calm.
Right.
And that was to save her life.
Yeah.
Well, now, it's on us, but we have to fix it. We have to go get her retrained.
Yeah. One of the things she loves is just basking in the sun out there.
She loves to lay in the sun.
Chew on a stick, lay in the sun.
Yeah.
Eyes just kind of squinty, sniffing around, listening to all the birds chirping.
But somehow, babe, she's figured, like, she wants to be beside us while we're eating. That's a non-negotiable for me. So today we had to really work with her on that. So just noticing, and what she did with Logan last night, she's never done that before, over a toilet paper roll.
So 6 months of getting away with whatever, we have to put that structure back in.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah. So we're working on it.
All right. So it is, it's May now. So it's going to be May. It's May now, which means we are just a few short months away from departure. Spring has sprung. We're here. But come fourth quarter, we're out of here. Yeah. So we're going to be taking a look at a few different properties that we found specifically on Airbnb. And just a little context about what we have going on with Airbnb. We're choosing to pay the extra
this time
by having Airbnb, because there's a lot of things that we get that we otherwise would have to do due diligence on. One of them is a service animal. Anybody who participates with Airbnb, they abide by Airbnb's mandates, which means service animals are accepted and you cannot ask about them. Where if you're renting directly from somebody, the country's government, we don't know what it is. And we may run into a situation where they get to pick and choose, or we have to disclose, or the U.S. guidelines don't transfer over. So we're going with the streamlined effort for this one.
Yeah, and we're more protected, I think, on Airbnb. And I think until we get down there and are able to actually spend more time, make some friends that can really help us out a little bit more. And I think the bigger thing is we can go somewhere and actually see a place,
right?
Or see a location
We'll
or
have
an
time.
area.
It's not trying to cram
Exactly.
everything into 1 day or 2 days. We're going to have plenty of time to connect with these
Which
folks,
is
do
fantastic.
appointments.
What if we end up in Medellin and not Envigado? What if we end up in
Right.
Sabaneta and not, so we don't know. And I think it's awesome
Yeah.
that we want to have the experience first before we make a decision.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go through 3 of them. That's the main reason we got this giant monitor in front of you today, so you can play along.
Let's go.
Let's see if this transition
Play
works.
along.
How's that look for you?
Looks beautiful.
You can see what we're looking at. So we have non-negotiables. We have things that we set on a list that are requirements. And if a place doesn't meet those bare minimum requirements, we're moving on. And it's not that we have hundreds of options. It's actually pretty limited on the number of places that Airbnb is eligible for in comparison to how many total places. Yeah. But we do have some non-negotiables, because spending 3 months in a place, we got things we got to be able to have. But there are some things that I think that became negotiable that we currently live with. I think we let go of a few things. Yeah. So I'm going to go through a couple of things on the list. We've got, we want it to be quieter. We want 2 bedrooms minimum. 3 would be ideal, but our minimum is 2. Bathrooms, we want 2. We want to have dedicated workspaces because we are remote. Yeah. We are both working it, so we need to be able to work in different areas and be effective. We want to have a balcony off of our unit. Or if we decide to go with a house, a standalone, then having an outdoor area where we can essentially go out, have coffee, have dinner, but enjoy the outdoors without having to leave our unit to go someplace. And a bunch of other stuff. Wi-Fi that's fast enough, outdoor areas with grass so that we can take Sadie to play and use the restroom and all that good stuff. So these 3 all have those mandatory minimums. So the first thing that we're going to look at here is
these aren't the ones that we're necessarily choosing. We just chose 3 that fit our criteria.
Right. And to kind of go over what the options are, what they look like, give some insight to folks who want to take a look. Airbnb is anywhere from 20 to 30% on a upcharge. So if you take a look at the pricing, if you were to rent directly from this person, chances are you're going to get a place similar to this for less, for about 20 to 30% less. Sure. So that gives you an idea of what the actual pricing would be if you're able to go there and rent it directly. Okay.
And I can say that, if you're only going to rent this thing for a week or whatever, it's going to be more. We're doing long-term. This particular unit is available for long-term. Not all Airbnbs are available for long-term, but we also get a small little price reduction by doing, renting long-term. Yeah.
Yep. Which you can kind of see some of the comparison prices. And sometimes they just call it out and say, you're saving a bunch by booking monthly rather than by the day. Yeah. So first thing I want to do is jump into kind of the amenities. Here's your bedrooms and your 2 bedrooms. Some of the amenities. So we talked about Wi-Fi as being a high priority for us.
It has to be.
Some things that we just don't care about, but that are cool. A sauna, it's cool. Don't need it. So that's not really a mandatory item for us. Some have more amenities listed than others. Some don't have any, like shampoo and conditioner. Like, we don't really care about that, right? So they've kind of fluffed up the volume of amenities. But what I like to do is I like to drop down to the bottom because what it'll do is tell you what's not included. And so some of the things that are not included with this that are ones that most common get added are going to be your dryer, your air conditioning, and your heating. And we came across that said hot water. Yeah. And there's a couple of things that could have happened there. They could have just not filled out hot water, and so it automatically excluded it, or they literally don't have hot water in those units. Yeah. Needless to say, those were not ones that made our list. But air conditioning, we're not too worried about air conditioning if it's high up enough.
Higher up, yeah, where it's a little cooler.
It's going to be cooler.
And you get that nice breeze. But the closer you are down to the flat level, it is hot.
Yes. And the air gets less flowy. So there's less of a breeze.
Well, there's more pollution. There's more.
Your air
a lot of that
quality's
air
down.
quality's.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, lots, but you're closer to stuff, and everything's within walking distance.
Yeah,
so,
walkable.
you have your give and your takes.
I'd rather take an Uber 2 or 3 minutes down the mountain.
Get done what needs to get done.
And then come back. Yeah.
So let's just breeze through some of these pictures and some of the things that we like. So I love giant windows because you get a lot of natural light.
Yes.
This particular one is I believe it's a ground level.
It is ground level,
which is not, it's not the end of the world.
But it also doesn't have a patio, babe. This one doesn't have a patio.
Right, but when you're ground level, you can walk out.
Walk right out. Yes, you are correct.
Yep. I like the lighting. It seems to be very well lit, not just with the natural, but also the electrical lighting that they've chosen in here. This TV. That's
so cool. That whole little area they put in there.
So you've got this little nook area with the TV, and then the TV rotates.
Yeah.
And goes into the next room. So one TV covers 2 different rooms really easily.
And what's that next room?
This opens up into I don't know.
It's the desk.
This is, or the other one? This one?
The other side's the living room area, and then if you flip that TV or walk around to the other side, that's where the workspace is.
Okay, so here's through the kitchen. I think the workspace is after this.
It's a beautiful kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, when we compare to where we went in February, much more space.
Yes, a lot more space.
Not just prep, but also for cooking and storage.
Yeah. Where we went before, there was no gym. There was none of that. But the garage was inside. It wasn't outdoor parking. And you did have a gate that was locked that you had to, that's a beautiful workspace.
So here's the other side of that. Here's that little rug that was there, and here's the workspace.
Yep.
So, and with an additional screen, which you probably could just plug in with HDMI and have a second screen there with your computer. Pretty easy to do that.
Well, look at that.
So here's bedroom 1 with the blue topper, closet, I believe, right? This one has a closet. Yeah, closet here. And then bedroom number 2, closets.
I mean, it's super functional for us.
A little bit of counter space, maybe not as much as we would have liked. Like this has none. This one's very minimal. So,
which is harder for me with all my stuff.
Leaving stuff out, right? Exactly. Yep. That
looks like a picture now, not a screen.
Yeah, it looks like a picture now.
I was gonna say we could use that as a bigger screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Washer.
So there's no dryer, which is fine.
Gym area.
Small gym.
And then here's the exterior of the place. So this would be like the footpaths to go through.
I like this. For me personally, I love trails. I like to get Sadie out. The squirrels might be a problem if she is off leash. Yeah, might be having an issue with that. But I love the fact that it's so green, and Envigado was really well known for more greenery, more hiking trails, more of that stuff going on.
This reminds me of like a resort you would go to.
It kind of does, yeah.
Kind of secluded. And then
the pool's really great.
The pool, it's not right in the middle. You actually have to walk to it, which is nice because it's kind of secluded out of the way. So yeah, overall a nice place. Let's go ahead and go back and let's switch to another one, yeah. So this one overall, what do you think?
If we're doing it in a scale of 1 to 10, I would say, I don't know, maybe a 7.5, 8.
Yeah, I was thinking an 8 for me.
And the only reason is that I think I would prefer to be higher up and have that balcony.
All right.
I have this dream in my head that I'm out there drinking my coffee in the morning and Sadie's just hanging.
And not having to get changed and put shoes on to go do that.
Yeah.
And all the windows might open up and you might be able to get that experience. We don't know.
Yeah. I don't like being on ground level. People can see right in your windows. I don't know. I kind of like being higher up.
Yeah, you're susceptible for break-ins too, being at ground level. All right, next one. Apartment, residential complex, entire condo. So this is important to note on Airbnbs is that sometimes people will rent just a room and it'll still be occupied by the owner.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure it says entire or whole home, things of that nature. Continuing down, we got the 2 bedrooms, and then we're going to take a look at the amenities here. jump to the bottom, see if there's anything missing. So air conditioning. You know what we didn't do? We didn't look at the map on the last one. I'm sorry. So let's go back and just look at where this one's located really quickly. Okay, so when we look at this map, Envigado is here, Alpoblado is here, Sabaneta, where we stayed, is down here. And if you've listened to some podcasts in the past, one of the things we said is stay further south of Medellin. So the further north you get, the busier, the higher the pollution, but also there is a break point to when you get into city proper, and that's when you start to run into some of the petty crimes that happen.
Right.
And so staying south gets you away from those things. However, there is this little area around here, which is Poblado, and
you're super close to El Poblado,
which is a nice upscale area.
Very beautiful.
Right. So there is like this little bubble that doesn't follow that rule. This falls in that bubble, and that bubble is basically just the outside of Envigado, below El Poblado and Laureles. So this is a safer area, and what we're kind of looking at is how far into the top of the mountain are we? Right, here's the airport, here's your mountain peak, I believe. And so as you get further to the right, we get cooler and more elevated.
Which is great.
Okay, let's jump back over to this one. So amenities, we found that there were a couple of things missing. Air conditioning, which becomes a factor depending upon how high or how low we are, as we discussed, and heating. Our thought is it's probably perfect, ideal temperatures that you don't need both. Let's jump into the pictures. After we look at the map, this one location-wise,
so
I know I'm ADDing. I'm so sorry. Similar. So Envigado, El Poblado, in that nice. So
it's
bubble.
just a little, I think, lower, a little bit closer than the one we looked at before.
Yep. Let's jump into some photos. So entire condo. We'll just start from the top and work our way through. So the living room.
I love how much space is in this one, Chad. I really, really do. And I love already I'm seeing an outdoor balcony. There's a stand-up mirror right there that it's pretty, as well as you can check yourself out when you get dressed in the morning. I like having that. If you can scroll, yep, the kitchen, I really like it. It's got a lot of working space. The one that we were at in Sabaneta didn't have a lot of that working space.
Right. Even the little island was too skinny to really
really thin.
It was very difficult to even sit there to do anything.
Yeah.
So it almost lost function.
But we did have a working space in that little place.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So this is great. Walk-in closet, which is amazing. Yeah. So if you'll scroll down to the bathroom there, it has a nice ledge there over the toilet, and it's a great place to kind of store your stuff, which is nice. The bathrooms, most bathrooms that I see are not really big.
No, and not a ton of counter space.
Kitchens
either.
and bathrooms are not big like they are here in the States. This is beautiful. This is perfect. Just a small little area. It doesn't have to be really big or anything, but enough space to go out and have your coffee, maybe have a meal out there. Sadie has she can lay in the sun if she wants to. It's just really nice.
So one of the things as you get higher up in elevation, and I learned this traveling in Mexico and some of the exotic places, especially oceanfront, where it's very breezy, and Chicago. When you have these glass pieces, this reduces the amount of wind that cuts through your balcony area. So if you're paying attention to things, having these glass pieces helps a ton, both for safety, but also for the amount of wind. You can sit out here, still get fresh air, but not have your stuff flying all over the place.
Yeah.
So these glass pieces help a ton for multiple purposes.
Yeah, because May, June, and July are it's the rainy season there, which we won't be there then. But for those traveling during those months, just be prepared. A lot of thunderstorms coming through there.
The store closes off for the laundry area, so it's not making a whole bunch of noise while you're in your kitchen or living area, which is nice. High rises everywhere. Everything is vertical, which is, to be expected. Yeah. This little entryway is nice. So
that's pretty cool.
This gives you private entry, but still like a shared space. So it's not facing the street where you're getting your keys out. You still enter into the building area before you get to there. So
it's really nice. It's a very nice area.
And then
look at that.
This is the balcony right here. So this is your view, the actual view of the space.
So what road is that right there? What street?
Let's go back to the map and take a peek.
Wonder.
It usually gives us general areas around here. Looks like this one might be pointed right on the building. So that would be streets 27.
South.
Yep. And then over here is going to be 43, Las Vegas, and this will be 43.
Okay, so we're a little bit, I think, up.
I actually remember this intersection. Remember that big turnabout that we went to? I believe that this is it right
Envigado?
here. Yeah. Or was that?
Sabaneta had the big one where they were making.
Still construction?
Yeah,
Oh,
lots
okay.
of construction
So
going
down.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is 43, which is like the main, one of the mains. There's Las Vegas, and then there's 43. Those two run all the way from Medellin down. So not and 43 seems to be where all the stuffs are, and so we're not
the main drag.
We're not far, but we're also far enough out.
I kind of like that. That's a really
seems like a really nice area.
So what we would do, I think, is we would call up a friend and say, "Hey, tell me about this area. Is this a great place for us to see if we can, get this Airbnb?"
Yep. Let me check the time really quickly.
Which we have a friend there now.
We're 21 minutes in. Do you want to do one more?
Yep, just do one quick one. Okay. These were just 3 that we came across.
All right, so this one is going to be an entire rental. Again, we're looking for the word entire or whole or everything to make sure that we are not sharing the space with someone else. Let's drop down to check out the bedrooms. This one's a little skinny, little tiny guy.
So it is a double bed though. It looks like there's, I don't know. Wait, there's 2 pillows, 1 pillow. What is this? Single bed, double bed? I can't really tell.
So this says double bed.
Oh, it is a double.
Each one.
Ooh. That's awfully small. Is that what we were in Sabaneta? Is a double bed?
We're in a double.
So small.
Yeah.
We have a queen now.
We're used to a queen.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's something I noticed is that almost none of them say queen because the rooms are just not designed.
They're just not big because you don't spend a lot of time in there.
Right. But for us, the second room is going to be primary office, and then with guests that would become the second room.
We do want a guest bedroom because we will have people coming down to hang.
But the guest bedroom is the secondary. Office is the primary, so it needs to accommodate a chair and a desk.
Correct.
And then if it has a bed also, it is what it is. You move the chair out. I don't
see a chair or a desk in there, so we might have to buy that. So Mountain View, I see that. Wi-Fi, shared pool, all of that. Pets allowed. Elevator, which is great.
So let's jump into the amenities, go to the bottom, see what's missing.
Just air conditioning again.
And a dryer, which we don't care about.
I don't care about a dryer.
Right, so we're not missing hot water. We're not missing
nope.
anything that's not on our non-negotiable list. And let's check the map. So this one we're going to move back out just a little bit. That was too much. So there's Envigado, Sabaneta. So this is further south.
It's further south. It's still in Envigado, but south, closer to Sabaneta, which is fine. And it is up in the hills there. So that's further up, as a matter of fact.
And I think a nice place. I think a nice area.
I agree.
So let's take a look at some of the photos. So truly a beautiful space. I love the marble floor. It has a touch of elegance to it, and then the light wood on the white. So I think just at first glance, this feels like a very nice place potentially. There's one feature in here that I absolutely love. And you pointed it out earlier. It's this outdoor area that has this window that opens to the kitchen.
Yeah.
So you can serve from the kitchen to the outside without having to walk all the way around.
Yeah.
But also get some airflow in there.
It's really fun. So this is another couch, just another like sitting area or whatever. No TV in there or anything, but just a nice.
See all the natural light though.
This would be great to have a desk area if you ask me.
This looks like right when you walk in.
It is. Which typically you would have like the dining table or something like that there. But this is really cool. It's a small kitchen, so not a lot of counter space for people that like a lot. Like we cook a lot, so 3 meals a day. But I do love that.
With less.
I do like the area right there going outside. I just think it's super cool little piece.
Yep. Cool. So here is like a little dining area.
Table, which for me, I could work there on my laptop.
Doubles the workspace.
Yep, absolutely.
You got the first bedroom with closet, second bedroom.
Right.
Full bath number 1.
But no working space. You don't have a dedicated working
bath number
space.
2, yeah.
Unless you wanted to work outside.
Well, I would use the second bedroom. So we would either go to a rental center and rent a desk
if they have that,
for a
sure.
couple of months, or buy a cheap one, or just get one from Amazon and pay the extra delivery fee, and then work with our guys to
Yeah.
sell it or give it away.
And what's going to be great is when we do decide where and when to purchase, we get to make this the way we want it, which would be really nice. So when we go down there, we have everything we need.
Yeah. Bathroom number 2 has this little ledge.
I like that.
So it has these, gives you
Both
some
of them.
counter space.
Is that the same one? That's the same one.
Yeah, this is bathroom number 2.
Got it.
And then I'll go back up to bathroom number 1. So you got a little bit here, and then some counter space
the same
here.
bathroom to me. Same tile, maybe. I don't know. Great.
Yeah, maybe they're designed the same. They're calling them bathroom 1 and 2. I don't know if they're different or not. They might just look identical. Laundry area, which is always great. You got your drying racks. This tells me there's hot water.
Yeah.
You've got your washer, and then you've got a laundry cup for all your additional stuff. These are the additional pieces. So there is your gym.
Mm-hmm.
They call it a social saloon, but there's like a central place.
Salon. Social salon. Salon social. I have to think for a second.
So it's kind of like the clubhouse.
That's kind of, yeah. And look at this. I love the green, the running space that Sadie would have. That's really cool.
Yep.
I like
so
it
lots
a
of grass, lots of places to hang out. Doesn't
pool.
Look, yeah, pool. Doesn't look like there's lounge furniture, but that's okay. Maybe it's just put away at this time.
I think I see more people just laying on the ground on a towel.
Old school.
Kind of spoiled. Yeah. Did I almost say spoiled?
You did say spoiled.
Almost.
So those are the 3 properties we're looking at. So number 2, let's go back to that and give it a rating. So this one was the one that had the patio, large living space, and a really nice view.
And a dedicated, I thought it had a dedicated working
yes.
space. Yeah. I really like this one. I think this would be closer to like a 9.
Okay. And then this last one?
More like an 8. I think it didn't have a dedicated working space. We would have to purchase, a desk and things like that. And it's the layout is just a little strange. You've got 2 couches. I don't know.
One right when you walk in,
then
like
little
a
strange.
Space, yeah.
But what I do love is this outdoor area there in the kitchen was a little small.
So this picture right here was us looking through the door.
Yeah. Through the front
door. This is that one little couch that opens up to the living space. It was just different. It almost feels like the space is not utilized properly.
Yeah.
But being there 3 months, we can move stuff around as we need to accommodate for ourselves. So we've got an 8, a 9, and an 8, correct?
I think I would give this one more like a 7. Let's do 8, 7, 9.
All right. So the ground level 8, the beautiful view.
7. I mean, it's
and spacious. This was a 9.
That's a 9. Yeah, that's beautiful for me.
And then this one with the weird entryway, you're giving it a 7.
Yeah, that's not a big fan.
Awesome. Cool. Let's go back to showing our faces. Yeah. We're back. So that was awesome. I like doing these walkthroughs.
Yeah.
Our feedback, both on number of views as well as likes on YouTube and all the good stuff, say other people like these walkthroughs as well.
Yeah. And make sure you guys are checking reviews. If it doesn't have any reviews yet and it says brand new, make sure you investigate that a little bit so that it's not, that it's real. It's a real place. Yeah. And you could be their very first guest. Who knows?
Yeah. Cool. So
that's it.
I forgot what we were going to talk about next week. Do you remember?
We were going to go into the cost of living a little bit deeper. And reason being is as we do this more and more and learn more and more, especially with the cost of living that has gone up, particularly in Medellin. So where are we now? What is this going to look like the closer we get to November? And making sure we're being realistic and understanding that, prices have gone up. It's not as cheap as it used to be.
Yeah, cost of living has gone up. We are going to probably really focus on a small handful of really specific, things that have changed. But yeah, let's do some breakdowns on costs. Let's see how they've been affected, because the biggest thing that I noticed in general was that it was super affordable for Americans, right? You're bringing your expenses anywhere to 25% of what you normally pay in the States, so a quarter to a fifth. But when you live, when your livelihood is also in Colombia, you're not making as much either. So if the costs are going up, but the money coming in isn't going up for people working there, that means it's difficult for some people to make ends meet, if you will.
And I have a question for you. Can we suspend our car insurance for the 3 months we're gone?
So what we will be doing, it's called garaging the insurance, and
Interesting.
it keeps it protected in the event the house blows up
Yeah.
or a tree falls through the garage. It still has protection on it, but it's under the assumption that you're not running the liability of actually driving it out in public.
Okay, so
So
that's a small savings.
there's still a cost, but it is, yes, it's actually a lot of savings.
That's really good. All right. Very cool.
Cool.
Well, we're going to talk more about that next week. So until next time, guys, keep expanding your horizons and living beyond the desk. Have an extraordinary week.